Howdy folks, welcome to the #1 rated midweek podcast on Patreon. It's the mWo podcast hosted by the creepy Kentuckian and Captain B Plan. So sit back, relax and sip some champagne from my dick hole. Take it away, Bowles.
What doggies? Howdy folks, I am the creepy Kentuckian here with you on March the 30th. It's Wednesday, Steve.
Yeah.
Tuesdays with Fulci. Uncle Bill's been doing this show for the last 3 weeks or so.
A while in a row.
Yeah, can you believe that?
It's crazy.
And I wanted to talk with you, get your opinion on the movies that have been covered so far. Now, some of these you've probably talked about ad nauseum. They call it, what is it, the Gates of Hell quadrilogy is the four classic ones that people always talk about. Zombie, The Gates of Hell, The Beyond, House by the Cemetery.
No, they don't call it that.
Some people do.
Like some people in Prestonsburg, but they don't include zombie in that.
Well, how else would you label that? He did his first episode as those four movies.
Well, that's him, but no, I mean, those are the best ones. I mean, he's made a lot different films other than those. If you haven't watched the spaghetti western he made called Four for the Apocalypse, that's a really cool film. His Jallos are really good. But
well, I think that's why Uncle Bill wanted to get those four out of the way in the opening episode. So
Red Monks.
Yeah, the rest of them. House of Clocks is one that's very difficult to
Was
find.
it the Sweet Sweet Murder or what? House of Sweet Sweet Murder?
Do you know, because Fulci, a lot of people don't realize this, he started directing films in the 50s. So some of that real early stuff, is anybody brought that out on DVD or anything? Or that would be very interesting to see. If
there might be an early Western in there, but I mean, obviously, if it is, it's going to be in the 60s. Perversion Story is 69, and that's the earliest one that I'm.
The earliest one that I have is Massacre Time from 66.
Yeah, that's
it's in that
right.
box.
So 69, he did the Jallo, but yeah, that's probably the earliest one is Massacre Time.
So that might be an interesting one. That would you be interested in, like Vinegar Syndrome putting out the early years of Fulci box set or something like that, and checking that shit out? I think a lot of it is westerns.
Yeah, I'm not sure about all that. Maybe. It just depends. I'd have to revisit Massacre Time, because it's been, I think I've watched it, or at least part of it.
I'd like to see a Fulci movie from the 50s just to see what the hell he made.
I'm sure it's not going to be what you expect. It'll be a standard film, not a Beyond with black and white, But some of his, what would be really good is all the really old, or like the 90s stuff that's so bad, and then like Red Monks or something.
Well, a lot of that stuff's out though. Has there been any of that stuff that's never got a release?
I've heard something about Red Monks coming out, but I don't know who would want to buy that. But it must have came out at some point, either on VHS. I don't know about over here though, but it was an English dub at least. But it's hard to say.
The next episode though was New York Ripper.
Oh, yeah.
Which is definitely my top 5 Fulci, I think. I mean, just for me personally. Like, I watched that movie to death when I first got it. And, yeah, it's just so weird and, like, just so fucking sleazy and, like...
It's so mean-spirited and it's bad, man. A toe in the puss, a big toe.
Oh, you like it.
Here you go.
He's what we called on the show the silver-toed devil, Steve.
He's a stinky toe right now.
Cat in the Brain was the other one.
Yeah, that's bad. But
this release right here, I don't know. You probably have this, the Blue Underground release of New York Ripper.
I got whatever the previous release is to the 4K.
That's what this is. This is the 4K remastered Blu-ray with soundtrack.
I got that one. I didn't get the 4K because I just bought the Blu-ray, and then 6 months later we got a 4K. Like,
well, the Blu-ray looks so damn good.
Yes.
Though. I don't think it would be. I honestly don't think it'd be any. You wouldn't notice any difference in it.
Yeah, the difference would be very, very little, and so I'm gonna stick with that. It looks good enough for me.
Now, Cat in the Brain has a Blu-ray as well. I did not have that. I've got the DVD. Cat in the Brain is like, and we were talking about this on the show too. It's filmed almost like a fucking like Mr. Bean episode. It looks like that quality, like it was so low budget. And I mean, it's got good death scenes in it, but that's basically all it is.
Well, it's the greatest hits because or at least from his previous couple of movies, like Touch of Death and stuff like that, which is horrible.
On the newest episode, which came out yesterday, some of the early Fulci stuff, which I've seen Don't Torture a Duckling a couple of times, and that's one of them. And Lizard in Woman's Skin is the other, which I watched once and was not a fan, but I would be willing to maybe check it out again.
Well, I'm a big fan of both films, but Don't Torture a Duckling is such a... It may be Fulci's best movie if you just view it as a movie and not a Fulci movie. It's just some of the cinematography is amazing looking. The starkness of this remote area, it's just beautiful, and the music is awesome.
Contraband is actually coming out from Cauldron Films soon. Have you seen that one? I don't think I own that one.
I probably have seen it, but yeah, it'll be like for the first time because I forgot most of it. I know Fabio Testi's in it, and then what's the other Fabio? A woman in lizard skin is just it looks awesome as well on the recent Blu-ray, and the music.
Who did the Blu-ray of that out by curiosity?
Mondo Macabre.
Mondo Macabre, bulls.
Yep. Looks awesome.
Phantasmat says that Duckling. Yeah, I remember Duckling being really good. I mean, it's different. It's not a typical Fulci movie, really, other than the fact that kids get killed in it. But Lizard in a Woman's Skin, man, I do need to probably check that out again, but I do not remember enjoying it very much when I first saw it.
Duckling's got some of the weirdest, it didn't make me feel awkward, but you could see how somebody watching it that wasn't into any of this stuff, seeing this awkwardness with these little boys, and you got like a Barbara Boucher sitting there nude, teasing a young boy and stuff. It's kind of insane a little bit.
Couldn't get away with that.
No, even though everybody knows that they're not in the same room at the time of their filming this, but the way it's put together, it's just really. You can see that little boy sweating because he's seeing tits for the first time.
Oh, thumbs up.
Up your butt.
Like, subscribe. And if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that DEADPIT puts up new shit.
Or don't. I really don't give a if you do or
I
don't.
want you to. I want you to.
I don't care.
Let's keep our community growing here on YouTube.
I don't like it. I don't want you to do nothing.
Listen, they need to do that now.
No, don't you dare touch it.
Thumbs up. Subscribe. And click that bell. Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. DEADPIT on Patreon.com is the only place to check out a complete archive of the old DEADPIT radio shows all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows and fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. DEADPIT on Patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.